Hey guys, this is Brian and welcome back to my channel. Today we are replacing the back shocks on our classic Porsche 911 912. Now I originally bought some cheap KYBs because I was trying to save a buck or two. However, I wound up just ordering the Konis and putting them on, but I didn't film that part. I just filmed me putting the KYBs on. So take a moment and hit that subscribe button if you're a Porsche fan. And let's watch this video on how easy it is to replace the rear shocks on a classic Porsche 911 912. Let's get to it. Alright, as always, when working on your car, be safe, use your brain, don't be stupid. First thing we gotta do is we gotta take off that wheel. If you need to know how to jack up your car, I'll link a video description, link whatever thingamabobber up here. But first thing is, let's get those lug nuts off, let's get that wheel off, let's get it jacked up. I guess you jack it up first and then get that wheel off, but no, you understand. And then we'll get to taking off that strut, or that shock I should say. Even if you're not a DIYer, this is probably one of the easiest jobs you can do in your garage on a weekend and real improvement to your car. So here is our original, well, I wouldn't call it original, but it is a Koni strut. And there it is, all goes up in there. Doing your rear shocks on a Porsche 911 912 is probably one of the easiest things to do. So it's basically take that bolt off. This comes out, you go into the engine compartment and you pop off one bolt there, this whole thing comes out, you reverse it, you pop a new one back in and bolt it back up and down the road you go. So let's go ahead and let's get the top one undone and then we'll move down here and we'll pull this one off. So in my case, with my Type 4, my 67 912 and in a 911 you're going to have your carburetors right here and they're going to block the access to that top part. So take off those air cleaners real quick and then see right there, that's the top of the shock mount, and that should be, I believe, a 17mm bolt, and you may have to hold this down, the clamp or something, to be able to get that off, but there's a bushing under there as well. So let's get a 17mm and let's get that off. Alright, we got our 17 on here. Yep, see how that's spinning? Yep. See how that's spinning? We're going to have to hold that in order to get that off. So let's get a vice grip. Okay, now with two hands, so I'm going to have to put the camera down, you're going to hold the vice grip steady, and you're obviously going to twist that ratchet and wrench there off and get that nut off. So let me do that real quick and we'll move on to the next part. Well, that nut just popped off, and it looks like we have this nut. Looks like we got a washer, and looks like we have our rubber. Yep, right there. That's the top part of that. So now we go down below and we take care of the bottom part. Alright guys, so that bolt right here, from me, is a 19mm, and so is the bolt on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a wrench to hold this one, and I'm going to use my cordless impact to pull that one off right there. So let's see if we can't pull this off real quick. Washer. Okay, it's off. And then just pull the whole thing out. And just pull it out now. Okay. There she is. She is out of the car. Let's go put her on the workbench. I want to show you a few things. Okay, so here we have our two. Here's our new KYB, and here's our original Koni. And my issue becomes right there, this little spot here, when all this gets lined up. You can see how it sits on the Koni, but when I switch this over, because this doesn't come with it. Well, there's a kit that comes with it, but it's not quite the same. I'll show you. Here's what I was talking about. These two shocks, here being the Koni, kind of give an idea, and then this here being the KYB, not quite the same. So I'm not sure if I want to use this setup here or go with this one here. I think we'll try this one first. This is what came with the car. We'll see how that works out, and if not, then I'll pull these off because they're not in bad shape. But you know, until I get my Konis, my good Konis, we'll have to do it that way. So let's get this one set up and let's get her in the car. Alright, so now you have your shock and you're ready to put in, but where does it go? So if you get low and go underneath the car and look up, you will see where it goes. See that little hole right there? That's what you're aiming for. You want to get your new shock up in that hole where it enters the engine bay, and then you can lock it down. And that is just directly below where it's supposed to go. So let's get it in. What I'll use is a floor jack to hold the bottom of that strut in place while I navigate it up and hold it until I can get into the engine bay if I'm working alone, so I can secure that nut up top. If you have a friend, you can have him do it while you hold this, or you do the nut in the engine bay as they hold the strut into place. But either way, I'm working alone today, so I have my handy floor jack to put that in. So let's get into the engine bay and let's get those nuts in. Alright, so here we go. So bushing. And then that washer. And then nut. So all you need to do is just get it kind of finger tight, a little bit of the head showing. That way you can work it from down below. So now let's go down below and let's get that big bolt in. We're almost done. Well, now you're thinking, damn it, Brian, they don't line up. How are we going to fix this? Well, it's pretty easy. Use that floor jack and raise up that bolt to meet the inside of there. Now it's going to be a tight fit inside that shock, so take your time and line them up and get them until they slide in. I'll do my best to film my crazy progress, I'm sure. So, put that washer back on. Then We're back up. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and lower our floor jack here. Get that off. We'll roll that away. And there we go. We have our new KYBs installed. Now it's time to go take it for a little drive and see if it makes a difference. Oh, wait. Before we do that, we got to tighten up the bolts up top in the engine bay. Alright, so ours is a 15 mil on these. So we're just going to wrench this. And if that shock is spinning, remember to take your vice grip and hold on to it. See, I told you that was pretty darn easy. Couple bolts and about 20 minutes worth of time, and you got new shocks in the back end of your Porsche. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and check out these other videos I've listed over here to keep you safe and happy during this pandemic, and maybe educate you a little bit and give you an opportunity to do some work on your own Porsche. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.